Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say, please forgive me for being so late, but we had a very, very important meeting just over this last hour. We had a gentleman here that's going to be on my show next week, but many of you know we have who I call Mr. Benghazi, Nakula Basila Nakula, who resides here at the First Southern Baptist Church under the auspices of the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C. He's been with us over 2 years, and as you know, and we've talked about this before, I won't go into a lot of it, but as you know, Hillary said those 4 American citizens were murdered because of a movie. Obama said they were murdered because of a movie. What we found out later, and what you heard only on the Wiley Drake Show, is those people were not only murdered, they were sodomized. You didn't hear that on the rest of the news, on the not the news now, CNN, certainly not the news. You didn't hear that. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, Hillary has finally admitted, Obama has finally admitted that the movie had nothing to do with it. Well, Nakula Basila Nakula was here, though, because of our government, and he was here and a resident here at our church, and is to this day, right now, he is here on property. I'll not bring him on camera right now because he's been in a long-time interview with a gentleman by the name of Kenneth R. Timmerman. Ken Timmerman is indeed a great, mighty writer. And Lieutenant Colonel Dennis B. Haney, another gentleman by the name of Haney, says this book is an excellent read. It's fascinating detail. It explores avenues and answers and questions that have not been previously answered. Now the question is, will the Obama administration and Congress finally provide answers through a select committee on Benghazi? Well, we don't know whether that will happen or not, but we do want you to know we are reading this book. This is the book, ladies and gentlemen, and I would encourage you, if you don't have it, to get it. This book is very, very important to the Wiley Drake Show, very, very important, even more so, to the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C., as well as very, very important to the United States of America. The title of the book is called Dark Forces, The Truth About What Happened at Benghazi. Ladies and gentlemen, you only hear that kind of thing on the Wiley Drake Show. We're being on the show right now. We're going to wrap up in a moment, but I wanted to give you a preview of the upcoming book that we're going to be talking about next week. On Tuesday, I have insisted and asked this gentleman, who is a dear friend now, because I found out he's not only a good writer, he's not only a Nobel Peace Prize honoree. He didn't receive it, but he was nominated. But he is a good writer. He's a great man of God. And I did find out he is indeed my brother in Christ. And this book is going to talk about From Terrorist to Friend, the making of an ambassador. Tehran summer. Many of you know I spent several summers in Tehran. And we're going to talk about the House of War in his book. Weapons everywhere. The arms pipeline to Syria, he'll talk about. Well, next week, we're going to be talking about the cover-up, the attacks, and the aftermath of Benghazi. Don't miss the show Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, we'll have a special show. I have encouraged, because Ken Timmerman is in town, I've encouraged him to stay over, and he's going to be on the Wiley Drake Show Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Now, folks back in D.C., for Phil Haney and my friends back in D.C., for Tony Perkins and for Pierre Bynum and so forth, we're going to have Ken Timmerman, Kenneth R. Timmerman, on with us, and he's going to be sharing with us about the truth about what happened in Benghazi. He is the quintessential expert on Benghazi. And he was here today in this studio interviewing, and we didn't tape it because it was private, but he was interviewing Nakula Basila Nakula, who is Mr. Benghazi, the one that was blamed. His movie was blamed. Hillary blamed him. Obama blamed him, and they finally had to admit that they lied. So, Tuesday morning next week at 9 a.m., that's 12 noon for you there in D.C., but Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., we're going to be doing a special interview with Kenneth R. Timmerman, the truth about what happened in Benghazi. Please RSVP me so I can tell Ken that you're going to be listening in. And by the way, as you know, our program is live television. Ken will be sitting right here in this chair with me, but you'll be able to call in and ask him a question. We're going to do a full 1 hour show or more if we need it, but we're going to do a show starting at 9 a.m. with Kenneth Timmerman, and we're going to talk about his book, Dark Forces, the truth about what happened in Benghazi. Would you like to ask a question? Would you get your question ready? Email me your question so I've got it in front of me. I will ask him or I'll let you ask him. But you can call in on our communications line. I'll give that number out on Tuesday so you can call in. And if you want to get that number ahead of time, just call me on my Obama line. My Obama line is 202-747-4839. Call me and tell me what your question is, and I will prime the pump. I'll get that question. I'll text that question to Ken Timmerman ahead of time. But even if you don't want to do it ahead of time, you want to wait last minute and ask your question, that's okay too. So we are going to be doing it Tuesday morning, a live Wiley Drake show dealing with the dark forces, the truth about what happened in Benghazi. And we're going to talk about the book, Dark Forces. Join us on Tuesday morning, please. Email me, wiley@att.net, if you have a question and that you'd like me to ask. And call me on the Obama line, 202-747-4839. Call me and give me your question. Or email me your question. My email is wiley@att.net. wiley@att.net. And you can text me also on that 714-865-8132. I'm going to text Phil Haney today. I'm going to text Pierre Bynum. And I would encourage all of you to be on the show with us on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's 12 noon in Washington, D.C. Please call me. Please RSVP. Send me your questions, and we will ask them of Ken Timmerman when he comes in the studio on Tuesday. Pray for him. He has to travel through L.A. traffic on Tuesday morning to get here. Pray that he'll be able to get here on time, but we'll do it whenever he gets here. So Ken Timmerman, don't worry about it. Just try to be here before 9 o'clock if you can. If you can't, we'll do the show when you get here, brother. Because you know what they say just up the road a piece, the show must go on. Dark Forces, the truth about what happened in Benghazi. You're only going to find out about that on the Wiley Drake Show under the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C. .org. God bless you and have a great, great evening.